In the sweltering heat of July 1518, a woman named Frau Trophäa stepped into a narrow street in Strasbourg and began a dance that would not stop for 6 days. There was no music, there was no smile on her face. Her feet were bloodied, her clothes soaked in sweat, and her eyes were fixed in a terrifying, vacant stare. By the end of the month, 400 people had joined her in a macabre marathon of involuntary movement. This was not a celebration, it was a death sentence. Welcome to the most disturbing medical mystery of the Middle Ages, the dancing plague. The year is 1518. The month is July. The setting is the Holy Roman Empire. Specifically, the bustling, claustrophobic city of Strasbourg. It is a summer of oppressive heat. The air hangs heavy, thick with the stench of open sewers, unwashed bodies, and the lingering fear of famine. And then, on a Tuesday that began like any other, the wire snaps. It begins with a single woman. Her name is Frau Trophäa. Suddenly, she begins to move. She twitches, she jerks, she spins. She dances without joy. Her face is a mask of grim determination, or perhaps agony. By the time night falls, her feet are bleeding. Her shoes are soaked through with blood and sweat. Within days, the contagion spread. It wasn't a virus in the blood, but a virus of the mind. 36 others joined her. By August, the number had swelled to 400. These were skeletons wrapped in skin, victims of famine, now burning their last reserves of energy in a suicidal marathon. The city council was desperate. They convened emergency meetings, the timber halls echoing with arguments. And so the city made a decision that in hindsight seems like absolute madness. They decided to lean into the chaos. They hired professional musicians. Pipers and drummers were paid to play upbeat, rhythmic tunes to keep the dancers moving. The wooden boards became slick with sweat, blood, and urine. Dancers slipped and fell, their bones snapping under the impact. Bodies began to pile up in the corners of the market, dragged away by grim-faced city guards. This was a curse. The people whispered the name of Saint Vitus. The remaining dancers, those who hadn't yet died, were bundled into wagons. They were taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus. Some point to ergotism. Ergot is a mold that grows on damp rye, the staple grain of the poor. The most accepted theory is mass psychogenic illness. It is a phenomenon where extreme psychological distress manifests as physical symptoms. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's darkest anomalies. The scuff of leather on stone, the heavy, gasping breath of the dying, and the terrifying, silent rhythm that drove hundreds to their graves.